Some say they're more shadowy illusion than reality. Others say they're a real threat, organized and competing for two things:
drug trades and territory.
So what is the honkies' territory?
Whatever they're strong enough to control, which right now is most of southwest Missouri.
Our contact wants to remain in the shadows, fearing retaliation for saying anything at all about this very secretive group. But we can tell you he's a criminal associate of the Joplin Honkies, an organization formed 10 or 12 years ago in the Missouri prison system by 4 Joplin men for protection and for power and control of the prison drug trade.
Whoever controls the drugs controls the prison.
Of course, after a while, they were released from the prison system and then came back to Joplin.
Captain Matt Stewart of the Joplin Police Department says after returning to the streets, a number of honky members have individually been involved in drug sales, thefts, and violence. But Stewart says calling them a gang only elevates their stature among criminal associates and gives them more credibility than they deserve.
I would not classify them as a gang because they don't fit that profile of having leadership within the gang.
Some other law officers agree.
When I think of gang, I think of some type of organization with maybe somebody that's in charge of, they answer to, or have a place to meet at. I don't think it's that at all.
As far as being able to prove that they're getting instruction from a leader, we have not been able to do that. Have we been told that? Yes, by a number of them.
Do you believe that?
Yes.
Newton County Detective Wanda Williams has researched the honkies for years, and she sees them differently than some of her colleagues do. Do you call them a gang?
Yes, yes.
Some people don't.
They're definitely organized crime.
There's one person in each prison that they all answer to. There's one person in each area out here on the streets that they answer to.
Joplin honkies identify themselves with tattoos, what members call patches. Our contact says each tattoo is unique and has to be sanctioned by honky leadership.
If a large quantity of drugs were coming into town, not just the average person could just go and hook up with them. But if you had that patch, if you were affiliated with the Joplin Honkies, then they knew you were good.
When you think of a gang, they're very protective of their brand and who's wearing that and who's representing them. And that just doesn't happen in this case.
But our contact says people who've been caught wearing a honky tattoo without approval get a dire warning. Cover it with another tattoo, remove it, or the honkies will cut it off. Has there been gang-sanctioned violence?
Yes. They put out what they call SOSs. It's either stab on site, shoot on site, or smash on site.
Missouri state statute defines a criminal street gang as a group of 3 or more individuals which has a common name or common identifying sign or symbol, whose members individually or collectively engage in a pattern of criminal activity.
They're not allowed to talk to each other without each other knowing. They're not allowed to commit crimes without each other knowing.
And what happens if they break that code?
Then they get put on the list.
The SOS list?
Yes.
Everybody wants to play down the crime rate. The facts are what they are. I mean, they operate together, they make decisions together.
Detective Dale Brashears has been with the Newton County Sheriff's Department for 10 years.
Yeah, absolutely, it's a gang.
So why does it matter? Well, under Missouri statute, if law officers could prove a crime is committed as part of gang activity, prosecutors could seek enhanced sentences. Some misdemeanors would become felonies. Prison terms could be longer.
If they want to behave in a manner that makes them a criminal organization, then they need to be prosecuted in that manner.
Is this a gang?
I mean, look at the body count.
There is no organization within the group.
Look at the control of drugs.
There's no one person calling the shots.
Look at who runs the streets.
There's no initiation into the group.
Just look at who runs every prison in the state of Missouri. It's all Joplin.
As we know right now, there are no established gangs in Joplin.
I'd say yes, it is a gang. You have to be white of origin. Your race is white. If you've ever had any relations with anyone non-white, not allowed in.
Relations meaning sexual relations?
Sexual relations, family.
Friendship?
You cannot be friends with blacks. You can do deals with other races, but that's it.
Deals meaning drug deals. But our contact tells us honky members have also been involved in race-based violence, what they term beatdowns.
And what they mean by a beat down, they'll find somebody on the streets who's black and they will just go beat him down.
They're looking specifically for a black person.
For a black person, yes. And that'll give somebody their stripes.
Under Missouri law, even misdemeanor assault could be prosecuted as a felony with prison time if it's proven to be a racially motivated hate crime. But that law has not been used in the prosecution of any honky member. People associated with the honkies say the group was formed based on old white supremacist rules. Members are required to memorize a white separatist slogan. Many of the tattoos establishing membership and rank within the honkies incorporate Nazi symbolism. But law officers we've talked with say they have not seen any pattern of racially motivated violence. And in fact, they generally agree that in recent months,
Most of the crimes that they commit that are against other people are actually against other people who claim to be a Joplin honky.
I don't think they're as much of a threat to people outside of their organization as they are to people inside right now.
They're fighting for something, but they're assaulting each other, yes.
And I think they're too unorganized. I think they're too destructive, mostly self-destructive.
our contact believes recent violence within the group is part of a power struggle, intensifying now because some of the established leaders of the honkies are completing prison terms and will soon return to the streets.
There's members of Joplin Honkies that have branched off and they're trying to change the structure and change it. I mean, the gang itself is fighting with itself.
You think they're growing?
Yes,
You think it's going to be a bigger threat in the future?
yes.
Just how many call themselves Joplin honkies is hard to calculate. But Newton County Detective Wanda Williams, who studied them for years, thinks she can make a fair estimate.
I would say somewhere between 400 and 600.
400 and 600
Yes.
in this area?
Between here and Springfield and the four-state area, yes.
They seem to think that they're getting stronger, but I seem to think that they're splitting in half. And they're going to become two gangs that are going to end up killing each other off. But, I mean, their count keeps going up. Their strength keeps going up. So, I don't know.